mystery novels are often loosely based on the author's real-life experiences. And that's the case for Sarasota author Stewart Stearns. We are so happy to have you here. You've written books about Guatemala.
Yes, it's great to see you guys, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Again, yes. For those that don't remember, for 20-some years, I was the CEO of the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. So I would often appear on shows like this, thanks to all of you. And when I had to retire, I did it because of health reasons. And after several back operations, sitting around going absolutely stir crazy.
That's what I fear with retirement. But you did something very important.
Right.
Everybody had told me, we had lived in Guatemala for a number of years, and every time I told people stories about that, they kept saying, do an autobiography. Autobiographies are wonderful. So I started to do an autobiography just to keep from going crazy, and it was terrible. It was awful.
Really my,
yeah.
And so I started messing around with it and adding some characters to fictionalize it a little bit. And then I've always loved mysteries, so I said, let's turn this thing into a mystery.
Wow. Nice.
And so, voila, there became the first book that I published. Goes by the title of Lorenzo's Rules, because every once in a while the main character, who is it's in Highland Guatemala, in western Guatemala, where most of the Mayan people live.
Yeah.
In fact, they're the majority of the population. And this is a leader within the Indian community.
Oh, wow.
And he gets dragged into this murder that happens with an anthropologist, which I was
You were the
off and on for
anthropologist.
4 years. So I killed myself off.
That's the way to do it.
Are the others based on anybody you really knew, the other
Oh,
characters?
absolutely. The Lorenzo character, as a matter of fact, who's the hero of both of these books, is based on actually two characters, but one character particularly who was a dear friend of mine who had been a leader just like this. And he loved these kind of sayings, call them dichos in Spanish, sayings that people say. And so every once in a while, I throw in my own philosophy. Some of the dichos are really Spanish dichos, and some of them are Stewart dichos.
That's the best way to write a book. Make it all up, right?
And your first one went so well, you wrote a second one.
So I did the first one, and the second one just called to me for some reason. So I started on it, and I actually finished it much quicker than I did the first one. And I have a third one.
Wow.
Goes along in the series. I have a third one that's
So
in
you're not
process.
stir crazy anymore.
So I'm not stir crazy.
So
My wife
you
gets
got to
stir
go
crazy.
1, 2, 3. You've got to read them in order. Do you need to
No, absolutely. I tried to write them so that if you could pick up either one. But there are hints in the second book about what happened in the first.
Oh.
And so those who have read the first one will find little clues in the second one of things that they've already read.
What is the mystery that
Yes.
we're looking for here? What's the mystery?
Well, the first one is about the ritual murder of a young anthropologist, a U.S. anthropologist.
Which was you.
Yes.
Well, yes. And his heart was torn out of his body
Oh my
not
goodness.
in the Mayan ways. So what I've tried to do is, as an anthropologist, I know an awful lot about the Mayan culture. And in fact, we lived in 2 villages in Guatemala, cook with wood and all the things that you do.
So you're Mayan.
So we've lived the life, and so we know how to do that. Plus, I had the opportunity of training with some of the Mayan shamans.
Wow.
So I know an awful lot about the culture that never gets told.
And a lot of that is in this book.
And you are giving the proceeds to Guatemala?
There's several charities that we've been in touch with for over the years who have done wonderful things. The human rights in Guatemala are not what they should be. And there's a couple of human rights organizations that are really wonderful, are doing great work. They're based in the United States, but they do work down there. And we found another organization that there's a new film out called Finding Oscar. And the executive producer is Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
And as a matter of fact, goes along very much with my second book.
Wow.
I mean, it just fits right in. I didn't know that it was being done, but the organization that features is a group of forensic anthropologists who, I think there were 250,000 people that were killed in their civil conflict.
What a great thing for you to help. Well, you're going to be signing your book
I'll be
on
it.
June 22nd.
June 22nd.
Books, June 22nd at Bookstore
Bookstore
One.
One.
One of our favorite places. So go down and say hello to Stuart.
Look forward
Get
to
one of
seeing all
these
my
books.
friends who I haven't seen in a while.
Well,
Because I've
it's
been
great to
hunched
see
up
you.
writing books.
Thank you so
Good
much.
for
We're
you.
glad you're entertained.
Thank you.
Speaking of entertainment, we're going to hear the headliner from McCurdy's this weekend coming up next.